All right, folks, good Wednesday morning. Let's get airborne with your final, if you're not a member, free full throttle live trade brief. So we're going to debrief real quick, and then we have a lot to talk. Got my ibogaine shirt on. We're going to talk about what the hell is ibogaine. You're going to find out in a little bit, and why you should be absolutely bullish on all of that. So how to target profits in a hostile environment, folks. Again, ain't nobody out there doing what I do. First of all, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence. Second of all, I opened up the doors for 3 days. Today's day 3. So you can come in and check it out. Day 1 was half death by PowerPoint, but it really wasn't. But folks, if you've been wandering around the financial space, haven't you seen these, right? Here's 57 PowerPoint slides, and here's a link to buy my stuff. Can I? Nope. Just listen to my PowerPoint and come buy my stuff. 8 as of this morning at the opening bell, over $8,500 in profit in 3 days. You're welcome. My mission objective for the free briefs was to show you how this year, the rest of this year, could be your most profitable. Thank you, Gabriel. Went and got my ears lowered yesterday, man. That was the longest my hair's been in years, man. I felt like a hippie. And our trading methodology and the risk management processes. I've showed you all of this stuff. We did our welcome aboard on Monday. You can watch the replay of that. We did the primary brief yesterday. You can't watch the replay because I didn't press record. Or I did because I'm recording right now, and it didn't record. Irregardless, if you're an idiot, regardless if you're a smart guy, it didn't record. So I didn't have yesterday's awesome presentation recorded, and I apologize for that. So that sucks. I am recording now, so you can watch this replay as well. We are in AR. It's called Accelerated Retirement. So these, the weekly options, primary, and accelerated retirement brief make up what's called full throttle. So we're done after today with the free full throttle stuff. If me demonstrating live $8,000 in profits in 2.5 days, you can't make a decision to get airborne and full throttle. I kind of don't think you should join at all, to be honest with you. But that's my personal opinion. But since I'm a nice guy, tomorrow I'm going to do a solo Amazon brief. That's usually Monday at 10 a.m. But when I do quarterly full throttle stuff, I kind of jigger around the flight schedule. So solo Amazon is going to be tomorrow at 10. Solo Amazon is not part of Full Throttle. It's its own standalone service. If you still think I'm a complete idiot, maybe you check out Solo Amazon for a couple months at a lower, cost, $97 a month, whatever it is, to figure out if you should join. Again, you're registered for all of these at the same time. It's the same link to get in here. Okay, really don't have a ton of stuff to cover. 17-ish. I went to yoga, did my meditation, didn't look this morning, but as of last night, when I was updating my slides, about 17 full throttle slots left. That's it. So welcome aboard. And there's a bunch of hunters in there. There's a bunch of annuals, a bunch of hunters. There's some monthlies. So love the monthly folks too. Just upgrade when you get some airspeed on the jet. We're going to close the door at 50 members, and we usually, we almost all the time get our full 50, and we do close the doors. So that's wrong. It's $8,300, $8,500 in 2 days. I want that to sink in, folks. Seriously, and men lie, trades don't. So you can sit here, or I can go through each account and show you, but in the Max Afterburner Lifetime group, here you go. Going to get my ears lowered, put in a closing order. So did a bull put spread yesterday. Every SPX trade that I covered this week, if you held it to expiration, hit max profit. So if you held all of them to max profit this week, that's $92.50. I didn't. I got out of some of mine because I couldn't watch it and had to go get my hair cut and live. So I put closing orders in for some of those trades. But folks, if you were a member, if you joined and you were in the hunters over here, obviously this is what the hunters looks like. This is my instructor looking panel. Obviously, it looks different for the user. Now, see, look, there's 83 people in here now. There was, 76 the other day. So, again, men lie. Numbers don't. I'm thinking about it, Ken. I might launch a separate sniper service. How about that? And it's not hard, folks. I get after, I had nearly 3,000 hours in the Hornet. Pissed me off. I should have been looking more at I didn't care. I was getting out. But anyway, should have done a couple more cross countries. But anyway, you start to feel the airplane, right? So I will teach you how to feel the market on these SPX snipers, right? But even if you can't sit here and do a sniper, I did a weekly options trade out to Friday. In Monday's brief, I did a 41.75, 41.80 bear call spread that's looking pretty good. What happened Monday as soon as I placed that trade? Oh, no, it kind of went up. Did you panic? I didn't. There's a world of time between Monday's live trade brief and Friday's expiration, right? So that trade's looking pretty good right now. Did you get long volatility yesterday? Starting to feel what up here, folks? Starting to feel heavy. Isn't it up here, right? What did I tell you yesterday? Short squeezes end. This is going to end. This little pop here is going to end. When this happened right here, a lot of people I know, when that happened right there, people are like, all right, we're doing one of these. We're doing one of these. And it didn't happen. That's a short squeeze right there. And it's ending. And once short squeezes end, people are usually pissed who got their rear ends handed to them, and they pound it into the dirt. It's usually violent. That was a massive short squeeze right there that got destroyed. So as a lowly retail trader, you get lured in often, I guarantee you, to some of these. And you get hurt. I'm going to show you how not to get hurt and how to profit. Okay? So, James got long VIX this morning, up a couple percent already. Exactly, folks. It's time. I dug into some of the stupidity coming out of the White House on a daily basis on the debt ceiling. They're going to take us to the edge, folks. Joe Biden's mumbles McShitty pants is going to take us right to the edge. And Speaker McCarthy's like, all right, dude, here we go again with the brinksmanship. Even though you and I know it's kabuki theater, it's going to impact the market. I guarantee it. I rarely use that word except when I guarantee it, because I do. They're going to take us right up to the edge. Ain't no way the Democrats are going to meet with the Republicans and go, yeah, you know what? Let's be grown-ups. And before this debt ceiling becomes a crisis, let's talk. Joe Biden, I haven't met with Speaker McCarthy since he became Speaker of the House, and we're not negotiating. Okay. I'm busy in Ireland for 5 days. Who the fuck gets to go to Ireland for 5 days? Oh, and I'm bringing my crackhead son. What does he do? Oh, he doesn't have a job. He lives in a Malibu mansion on the beach, and the monthly rent's like $50,000 a month. But he's unemployed. Who's paying? What? Don't get me started. Anyway, folks, I can't do any more. So I'm going to do a live trade brief, kind of like if you're already a member. And if you're not a member, what are you waiting for? $8,300. That's essentially, ladies and gentlemen, live this week, just with my S&P trades, that's 3 years of an annual membership paid for. If you had joined Monday, if you were motivated, you would have gotten all these trades. So 3 years, or what's that? 5 and what's that? 2 years. If you stayed in the hundreds monthly for 2 years, I paid for it this week. Okay, so I'm not going to sell anymore, folks. If you don't kind of get it by now, I don't know if you're kind of have the aptitude to be an options trader. This is a pretty damn good deal. Yeah, I'll give you the link. So we're done today with the free full throttle stuff. And we'll do a solo Amazon tomorrow. Any questions, concerns, by the ways, before I pretend that we're done here? Because we need to get an accelerated retirement, and we need to start getting airborne. Yeah, as I said yesterday, it was a hiccup, obviously on my part, even though technology is infallible, right? I don't know what happened. So there's the replay from Monday, but yesterday's did not post. I did a little bit of a sit rep yesterday. I sent that out via email. So there's the replay of Monday. If you're new here, we still have some folks that are new. I mean, when I started Monday, we had like 400 or 350 people registered. It's doubled this week. I love doing this stuff, folks. I love doing this stuff. I'm very passionate about it. But there you go. There's all the trades I placed all week. $900, 50% in 14 minutes. I mean, you can't. Again, I'm kind of done selling. I can't stand selling. This is why I open the doors and just say, check it out. Here's the link. You want to buy it? Great. If not, I'll have a nice day. All right, here we go. So we're done with your free full throttle stuff. If you don't get your full throttle slot now, maybe next quarter. And then obviously solo Amazon tomorrow at 10 a.m. where we're going to talk about Amazon. Let's get airborne. UN-backed report suggests normalizing pedophilia and decriminalizing all sexual activity. I want that to sink in. A UN report published last month suggests global leaders normalize pedophilia by allowing children to legally decide on engaging in sexual activities with adults. Can somebody explain to me why men who want to dress up like women feel the need to be around children and read to them or give them lap dances? Here's the UN, folks. You don't think this is all like coordinated? You got to read this stuff, folks. Sexual conduct involving persons below the domestically prescribed minimum age of consent, it may be consensual. A United Nations report, ladies and gentlemen, says that people under 18 should be able to have sex with whoever they want. Yeah, you can. I'll give you the link. Did you see CNN or any of the news organizations come out with this? Like breaking news, a UN report says this. Of course you didn't see that because they're just kind of infiltrating. Actually, I was going to say unbelievable. It's not unbelievable. It's completely believable. This is who these people are. Can't vote, can't smoke, can't get a tattoo, can't serve your country. You can have sex with whoever you want to. Okay. Interesting. The decay of this world and this country is it's obscene. I just put the link in the chat box. Read it. Read the United Nations report on this. Not reported anywhere. Thank you. Well, guess what, folks? It's funny. Over the years, people are like, dude, I get my news from you. I listen to everything. I do my own digging and all sorts of stuff, folks. This thing's priceless. This cell phone, the contacts in the Pentagon, Capitol Hill, used to be in the White House, hedge funds, politics, you name it, man. But ladies and gentlemen, you cool with this? You can be cool with this. Live in your own state. Anybody who wants criminals running rampant and shoplifting and storming down streets and raising taxes and illegals and all sorts of shit and transsexuals having lap dances with children in school, why don't you all live together? It's a free country. Why don't you all live together? And people who don't agree with that don't live together. That's called the balkanization, right? The balkanization of the United States. We're already fracturing apart. Thank God I live in the free state of Florida. Everybody down here freaked out for about a week or two at the height of COVID, and then everybody's like, you know what? Done. Live your life. Do whatever you want to do. Thank God I live down here. Unbelievable. Anyway. Epstein's client. They're not releasing Epstein's client list, folks, because they're on it. 4 weeks after a mass murder in Nashville, we still don't have the shooter's manifesto. Is the FBI reading it one word at a fucking time? if that was a white young male shooting up a transsexual school and had a big manifesto, it would have been released within 0.075 seconds. The FBI is a criminal, corrupt organization. They got Hunter's laptop. They got Epstein's client list. They have the manifesto, and you're not allowed to see any of it. I've had it. The mayor of Chicago. Well, I'm not going to condemn those poor kids for looting and destroying downtown Chicago. Ken Griffin moved Citadel down to Miami. He bought bought this beautiful big building in Brickell. I'm wondering when my old firm will be leaving. I had to bring up the UN report, folks, because I read that yesterday, and I'm like, okay, I got a safe full of guns. I'm fine. I love you guys. I love my family. I love my friends. Keep pushing. Nobody is more dangerous than the man who wanted to be left alone. Just leave me alone. No, I'm going to foist all this shit on you. And I'm coming for the kids. I warned you. The CIA knows Zelensky and the top generals are stealing, right? The CIA director actually flew over and like on the down low said, dude, knock it off. This shit gets out. It's already shaky support in America. It's over with. He fired a dude or two, and then they kept on stealing. $400 million at a minimum gone. Oh, yeah, Graham, thank you for the reminder. I forgot. All of my weapons were on a boat a couple years ago, and the boat sank, and I swam to shore. So they were all lost. Anyway, we talked about this earlier in the week. Since we're in accelerated retirement, it's hard to look downrange right now with our radar. Exactly. Again, that boat keeps sinking. Brazil, Saudi Arabia, Iran, you name the country. The cheese-eating surrender monkey last week, Macron from France, went to China, kissed Xi Jinping's ass, and said, "Yeah, we're not following America's lead anymore. Who gives a shit about Taiwan? Am I right, Xi? You and me, buddy." Macron the next week. We need the United States and NATO to step up and give more shit to Ukraine. So the dollar is done with. We already know that. We're in a disgusting amount of debt. But all these other countries that can't wait to see the United States implode. People are like, oh, that's not going to happen. Really, folks, in the blink of an eye, this shit's going to be happening. It is happening. It's not going to be happening. It is happening. I see all these, harumph. Really? I love people who are like slippery slope. That's so stupid. Oh, really? There are so many slippery slopes that when I look at the top of the slope and I recognize where we are right now, gay marriage, I'm like, I personally believe man and a woman, but at the end of the day, if two people want to get married and be miserable, who cares? Yay, gay marriage. But we went awful quick. I mean, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Joe Biden didn't support gay marriage, did they? But they did, because you have to do that to get elected. We went from gay marriage is acceptable. Okay, great, do whatever you want to do, to I'm a dude dressed as a woman and I'm coming to your kindergarten. Pretty fucking quick. So the United States dollar is dead. It will destroy our economy even more. And there ain't nothing Jerome Powell's going to be able to do. There isn't enough printer ink at every Staples and Home Depot or Office Depot in this country to print the amount of money to bail us out of this. It's over with. We are the Roman Empire. So get ready for that. I was going to break a lot of this stuff down. And I got a great – so Mark Provo, Utah, who's a Blue Angel. Great dude. He was a Blue Angel with one of my best friends. He's a FedEx guy. He's going to be joining as a member. But he's like, hey, debrief point. Make sure you tell people, like, hey, as part of the initial training, I'm going to show you how to open a brokerage account and everything like that. Yes. So thank you, Utah, Mark Provo. For the debrief point. Underneath member content, as soon as you join, you go to Full Throttle. Watch Full Throttle session 1 through 8. Okay? because I will show you. Go to etrade.com/TopGun. You go to that to open a brokerage account, right? If you don't have one, or if you don't have one that, let me give you that link right there. etrade.com/TopGun. That'll give you our rates for stuff. But I will, again, folks, I take a building block approach in Full Throttle. Just like Utah and I went to Pensacola Naval Air Station and we're like, dude, I don't know shit about flying. And 6 months later, we're steely-eyed fighter pilots or whatever. We're flying jets. That's the methodology I'm going to take here. So if you don't know what an option is, a call, a put, a bear call spread, a leap, whatever, that's why you're here. I open up the doors so you can get to see the practical application. This is the training side, folks. And then up here, you got your workbooks and your manuals. Rosie, our chief medical officer for our foundation, sent me a text the other night. She's like, hey, I'm going to print these out. Is that okay? Yeah. Print these workbooks out, man. I'm a paper guy, right? They're digital. Years ago, we'd mail them out. And then it's like, that's dumb. Put it on my iPad. I'm like, I kind of like paper. So we stopped printing. You can go print them out. People, it's funny. More technology comes, the more I go back the other direction. My trade journals and I have kneeboard cards and I write my stuff down, man. But this is all training, folks. You are going to get trained in Full Throttle. That's what we do. Everybody understand me? So, Andrew, I have a TGO training manual library. I love it. That's awesome. But anyway, that's why. Because in the beginning of the training, you have got to wake up every morning, meditate, do yoga. After that, you have got to read Zero Hedge. Zero Hedge, ladies and gentlemen, used to be, I'm really dating myself, back when it first came out, it was like an industry insider rag. And it was, I think Uncle Sam came in and said, this what you're posting is like insider trading. And then they're like, all right, well, let's make this free or type of thing. They do have a pay subscription. But folks, this is an aggregator of everything. Back in the old days, I used to have to read the Wall Street Journal. We had a research desk. But, man, this website, folks, has everything. Let's just scroll through it. Germany closes its last nuclear power plants, and their electricity bills are going up 45%. Could you imagine, Avinash, the difference between Hunters and Full Throttle is nothing. In the Hunters, you get access to Full Throttle. Hunters is Full Throttle, folks. But the Hunters, that's my old Hornet Squadron, gets you access to the investment club. This is the Hunters right here, folks. 83 people in here. This is the Hunters. See, Ryan's in here. Good morning, Hunters. We thinking blah, blah. So the Hunters is Full Throttle, but Full Throttle isn't necessarily the Hunters. Okay, so if you do the monthly $295, you ain't paying for the Hunters, man. This is the cheap way. Okay, Full Throttle, monthly $295 are these briefs and the training and the manuals and stuff, text and email alerts. The Hunters is our investment club. And obviously, Full Throttle Annual gives you the Hunters and a 50% discount. Okay? I know that can be just a hair confusing, but if you step through it, you'll get it. Does that answer your question? You bet, bro. All right, so if you were an alien and you landed on this planet and you discovered that humans, this sub-race that we are, that humans actually 50, 100, whenever it was, 70 years ago, figured out how to split an atom and harness that energy, first of all, to kill people, but second of all, to power the planet, you'd be pretty impressed, wouldn't you? Until you figured out that now the humans are shutting these things down and they're making you put fucking windmills out off your beach or solar panels on your roof. If I was an alien, I'd be like, why are you going backwards in time? Did you see Elon Musk? So Elon Musk's interview with Tucker, the entire thing, you should watch it 1,000,000 times. The dude's brilliant. I wish he could run for president, not in the Constitution. Why do I bring that interview up? Because Elon said what? Because Tucker asked him about aliens. He's like, he looked into the camera, or he looked at Tucker. He's like, I've been doing the space thing for a long time. And if anybody would know about aliens, it would be me. And Tucker's like, yeah. So he's like, yeah, no. We'll get to psychedelics in a little bit. But if you haven't listened, shameless plug, to episode 50 of my podcast, I went from being a fighter pilot who thought he saw a lot of things to I am absolutely convinced we are alone. Period. Why? Because I saw it. Listen to my podcast. I'm not going to take up time during this. But guess what? We're it. And it's funny to listen to so-called some scientists are like, well, just based on the sheer everything, it's impossible. The odds are no. As I step and map through it on my podcast, the odds are actually in the exact opposite direction. Abiogenesis, the ability for me to be sitting here as this carbon-based bunch of stardust that is not easy. Plus, if you believe in a crowded universe, where are they? Right? So anyway, just listen to my podcast. Anyway, it's just funny when I see like we're getting rid of nuclear power plants. If I was an alien, I'd be like, you all are pretty dumb. California's Dream for All home down payment program. It ran out of money in 12 days. The DNI yesterday, the director of national intelligence, said that Fauci lied about gain-of-function research. This man has committed perjury. He's a criminal, should be arrested. Peter Schiff, pretty smart guy. We're going to be lucky to escape with just a recession. I think we're going to see a depression. Kind of agree with Peter Schiff. Disney, Meta, don't call it Meta, it's Facebook. Thousands and thousands of more jobs. I haven't seen Joe Biden or Jean-Claude Van Damme at a press conference recently. Have you? Remember, the jobs market's great. Everything's great in the economy. You haven't heard boo about how strong the jobs market is because all of these limousine liberals are getting fired. Amazon, Facebook, Google, Disney, they're laying off tens and tens of thousands of people. I do not take any joy in that, in anybody losing their job. But I do take joy in Tucker interviewing Elon when he's like, dude, 80% of the Twitter staff is gone. He's like, yeah, when you're not running a government censorship company, you need a lot less people. Holy mic drop, Batman. That was awesome. That was awesome. Oh, yeah. They were bragging about the best stock market ever. Be careful. From Bud Light to Disney, left-wing causes, corporate average. Morgan Stanley. Holy crap. We'll get into Morgan Stanley here in a second, but 19%. So Goldman and Morgan, bad. JP Morgan, Bank of America, good. So right now we're getting a little, it's kind of a little not good earnings here. Crypto cash crashes amid a cascade of long liquidations. Future slide. Oh, Bullard. Before market, Bullard, who's a Fed lieutenant, had some not so dovish comments. And there was a UK inflation report that it's still on, inflation still raging in the UK. Tesla shares fall 3%. So I'm not going to sit here and read through all this. What am I getting at? If you're not joining and you don't go to full throttle training, you need to incorporate this site into your daily scam pattern. Rick, it was on the past couple nights. Tucker, just Google it. Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk. They talked about everything, dude. Life on, aliens to Twitter. He's like, yeah, I got rid of almost all the employees because they're not needed. I love this guy. You know what he said? It's this. Elon Musk told Tucker, he's like, Twitter's a glorified chat board. I don't need 10,000 employees to do that. When you're running a government censorship campaign, you need a lot of employees. I was like, oh my God, that dude is savage. And he's telling the truth. Did you all ever see the Twitter chick? She went into Twitter one day, like before Elon took over, and ran it like a company. She came in and walked around Twitter like, here's my day. Here's the cappuccino machines. Here's the meditation rooms. Here's the chefs that cook everything. The lady walked around. I was like, oh, my God. I've never seen anything like this. Not once did she mention work. And she was promptly let go. I don't like people losing their jobs. I do like people losing their jobs when they're coordinating with our government to break the Constitution. So Morgan Stanley was destroyed. So financial's not looking good. Morgan Stanley profit falls 19% on deal-making drought. What did I tell you yesterday about Goldman Sachs? Goldman Sachs, hey, man, our seersucker suit, parties in the Hamptons getting deals done is gone. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a canary in the coal mine. When the blue blood Wall Street banks say deal making's drying up, that means credit is starting to crunch. Deals are going away. Money's getting tight. Interest rates are still going up. Inflation's still raging. Again, folks, we should not be up here right now. Let me hit you with that wizism again. Trade the market you have, not the one you want. The market we have is up here, but my mouth is watering to pound this thing into the dirt. If Jerome Powell and the Fed weren't printing money hand over fist to prop this market up, the S&P would be at 2,000 easily. Well, let's go look where I think it should be. Remember, if the market's not doing what you think it should be doing, you're wrong, not the market. So I trade the market I have. But looking at this, folks, here is crack. Here is the hangover. We technically have a lot. That was the good old days, man. Donald Trump, can't stand the guy, but let's just go back to January 2020. The dude beat his second impeachment. Stock market at record highs, unemployment at record lows. He had beat China into submission with a trade deal. Life was fantastic. Boom. Jerome Powell jumped in to save capitalism. If capitalism needs to be saved, it's not capitalism. But anyway, here we go. I think we need to be back here, or there's the COVID bottom. We have a lot of airspace between this market right now. What is holding this up? Well, obviously the Fed is holding this up. They call it, market participants call it what? There's a Fed put under this market. There's a Fed put. Yeah, hopium. That's what's holding this market up. Bullshit. It's the MacGyver market. It's like string, a straw, and a piece of gum is holding this market up. That's why I brief you strategically. Somebody sneezes and it's over with. Iran, Israel, China, Taiwan, Ukraine nuke out of Russia. You name it. Fragile. That's why I said get long volatility yesterday with the VIX, because between now and the government debt fight that's going to take us to the edge, something else bad could happen, right? You need to do Marty Feldman, right? Remember the guy from Young Frankenstein with his eyes going in different directions? That's me, man. That's how I trade. I got one. I can be bullish right now, but I got one eye on the exit, man. I got one hand on the ejection handle, and I am ready to go. We laughed about this week. A few banks are hedged interest rate risk. The smartest people in the room, folks, legendary investors, smart money, are idiots. I told you as the managing director of strategy for my firm in Chicago, I would have been like, are we hedging interest rate risk? No, we don't need to do that. The Fed's never raising interest rates again. They said they are, and they're starting to. No, but they won't keep going because shit will break, and then, they'll come and bail us out. Maybe they are the smartest money in the room, right? Because they know that nothing bad's going to happen. The Mooch, Ackman, all these limousine liberals, they privatize their profits, don't they? We're making a shitload of money. Let's go party in the Hamptons. And then when things break, we're all in this together. And if you don't bail us out, we're all going to die. No, we're not. No, you might get hammered and lose some money. I'm not, because I'm not an idiot. So that was funny this week. We talked about that this week. Public pessimism. This was in CNBC yesterday, and a survey. It's the CNBC All America Economic Survey. Public pessimism on the economy hits a new high. 69. This is a record. 69% of Americans negative views. Now, and what? In the future. Ladies and gentlemen, inflation is sticky. Inflation is also mental. Every time my wife goes to this, my wife never has talked like this. She's like, oh my God, I went and got nothing at the store and it was like $500. I'm like, nothing is $500? She's like, yeah. So when people get pessimistic and they get it in their brain, it's a feeling. Welcome to Jimmy Carter, the malaise speech. Wear a sweater. It's going to be cold this winter type of shit going on. Just 24% say now it's a good time to invest in stocks. The lowest reading in the survey's 17-year history. The last time I think they came out with this survey around what? The financial crisis, when people, hey, what's going on? How are you feeling about stuff? I've never seen this. Widespread disapproval. And, of course, Joe Biden's going to run for re-election because that's what you do when things are shit. When you've been in Washington since I was 4, the man's been in Washington for 50 fucking years. Well, I need to be reelected because the work's not done yet. Stop. Whatever work you're doing, stop doing it. Jill's supporting me. That's Dr. Biden. Financial crisis nears as McCarthy takes debt ceiling plan to Wall Street. So McCarthy on Monday went to Wall Street and said, hey, man, I haven't heard from the president in 75 days. I'm telling you, all our Republicans are holding together on this. We're not, and he said that. He's like, we're not going to allow us to default on our debt. We just can't do that. America can't do that because we'll really be screwed. But we're going to get pretty damn close. That's why I told you yesterday you should strongly consider getting long volatility because something stupid's going to happen. I'm sorry it didn't record yesterday, but you have got to go out a month and look at the VIX. Look at the upside calls, 30, 40, 50. Hell, I even, after the brief, I scrolled all the way down. There's a shitload of open interest at 100 strike. The VIX quadrupling. People are out there buying that stuff, folks. And remember, it doesn't have to get up to 100 for those calls to be making money. You just need a violent move to the upside. So let me go through this real quick. We'll do that tomorrow in Solo Amazon. Bank failures, high inflation, rising rates. Is the resilient jobs market about to crack? I saved this article because it was 2 weeks ago, April 6th. It is cracked and getting worse. Stocks haven't looked this unattractive since 2007. Duh. And that goes with that pessimism report. AI stuff, and that's about all I have for that. All right. AR, accelerated retirement. I have two things I want to talk about in the rest of our time together. One is, what if everything I just briefed is wrong and the exact opposite happens? That can happen. Well, let me go back to AI real quick because somebody sent me a nice email this morning about AI and trading and all sorts of stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, AI cannot trade right now. Why? Because it's irrational. Spock from Star Trek could not be a trader right now. If you are trading rationally, you're broke. AI right now, if you hit, what should we do with the economy? It would be like raise interest rates to like 10% for about 3 months. Stop pumping money into the, I could be AI right now. If I use logic with this market, I could fix everything. I told you a year and a half ago, Even though I'm a Navy fighter pilot and I crash land aboard aircraft carriers, now that I own my own fighter jet, I treat it like an Air Force jet. I flare to land because the brakes and the tires aren't cheap. Folks, I know how to make a soft landing. A year and a half ago, I told everybody at TGO, I'm like, they need to stop pumping money in right now and raise rates. A year ago, we got a 40-year high inflation print. The last time inflation was that high, my sister Monica was alive. As soon as that report came out that morning in a live trade brief, I said, okay, so there's going to be an emergency Fed meeting today, and he's going to raise a full point. Watch. Cricket. Dude, do your job. No, it's transitory. What? I nailed it. So, ladies and gentlemen, for all you like, oh, AI is going to take over the markets. Oh, thanks, Tom. You have been ahead of everyone for years. I appreciate that. So they can't trade because you can't trade this market rationally. I told you on Monday that at the height of COVID, I did what? Went out, recycling bin, 30 books-ish. Big recycling bin. They're gone. It's over. This is not normal trading and investing. So why am I rambling about this? Because in AR, my job is to pick up our binoculars and look downrange. First of all, let's look at how the AR portfolio is performing. So I have a Bud bear call spread out to earnings that's a little underwater right now. So I am actually glad. Look at this. So this is the first position year to date across these three portfolios in full throttle that has red in it. So where's my Donald Rumsfeld slide? Now the trade's not closed. I absolutely think Bud's going to implode, but I am so glad to see some red. Isn't that funny? I've actually been getting nervous. I'm like, nobody's going to believe these results, even though this is the account and there's the Excel sheet. You can download the trades. Thank God that Bud is down $1,000. There you go. I am mortal. Losing trades happen. This trade currently is underwater, and I don't care. Let's go, if you want to, let's look at Bud. When's their earnings? Here's why I'm bearish on Bud. First of all, they're stupid. I guess I heard that lady resigned over the weekend or something, whatever. But, folks, their earnings are coming up May 4th. So we got 3 weeks to earnings, okay? I can't see, and you saw the former CIA dude who's the CEO come out with his half-assed, wasn't even an apology. Hey, we never wanted to get into a culture debate. It's about beer. Is that your apology? So people even hated the apology even more. Here's what I'm getting at. On their earnings call, folks, he or she, if there's a she that is going to do the brief, how can they physically get on an earnings call and go, everything's great, no impact at all to our sales? Matter of fact, the 0.01% of America that we were catering to with our woke spokesperson bought $1 trillion worth of beer. Or the entire state of Tennessee, Nashville, and everybody else who's like, I will not, Kid Rock shooting it with the machine gun. Oh, really? The woman still works for Bud? It's fake news? Oh, I didn't know that. So anyway, guys and gals, and it's I'm holding this trade. I mean, this is, we may see this might be a buy the rumor. You ever hear this Wall Streetism? Buy the rumor, sell the news. So it's currently a losing trade, and I'm glad I have it so I can show you that I currently have a position that's underwater. Okay. Other than that, boom. This is AR. This is accelerated retirement. So I think this is in second place. The primary portfolio, as of me looking at it before I started my brief, is 80 grand. 80. This is 56. What's weekly options? I forget, 25-ish or something like that. And then solo Amazon we'll look at tomorrow, I think is 35. So folks, there you go. This is awesome. We're doing great. All right. Let me get back over to here because I was about to talk about SPX. My job in accelerated retirement is to look down range and preferably be bullish out into the future. I am only bullish, ladies and gentlemen, on two things. Jonathan, yes, these are based, good question. These are based on $100,000 model portfolios. But ladies and gentlemen, look at this, folks. At any given time, so currently right now in the AR portfolio, 97% of it is cash. I am not deploying 100 grand. So those results, that 57 grand, is probably based on, at most, at any one time, having about 20 grand at risk, maybe 25. Isn't that awesome? So the results you're seeing aren't, I never, listen to me, based on a $100,000 model portfolio in this market, I would never be more than 50-50. I would actually go the other direction. I would go 25-75. And I think I've been doing that subconsciously. What do I mean? I'd be 25 in this market, shooting snipers like I've been doing, and 75 in cash right now. Thank you for asking that, because now I'm going to go on a rant. Listen to me. In this hypoxic up here, do not be fully invested. I'm begging you, especially now. There's some money market funds that are given 5% over the past couple of years. Hell, hedge fund, a good hedge fund was doing 5% a year. I would be in AR. I just showed you. I'm 97% cash. So this performance, yes, is based on a $100,000 total model portfolio. I only use a sliver of it to get these returns. So thank you for that question, Jonathan. Asked and answered. Why wouldn't you deploy more of it? Why? Folks, when I put my binoculars down range, when I scroll out my radar range, it ain't looking good. The only, and I'll use air quotes, good is what? Jerome Powell in June maybe saying, you know what? Inflation still sucks, but we're gonna hang and see if our power corrections are taking hold. Boom. Oh, hold on, Wiz. Everything sucks. We might be in a recession or a depression and war. I don't care. That's why many retail traders fail and get frustrated and hate Wall Street. I'm telling you, the worse things get, the better this market can do. The market, again, is not the economy. Pay attention. Now, I haven't used this analogy in a long time, and I'm going to use it right now because we're all probably old in here. No offense. The Fred Sanford moment is coming. It's going to come for all of us, but Fred Sanford, I'm old enough to remember having watched Sanford and Son. Once an episode, it seemed like he would grab his chest and be like, Elizabeth, I'm coming, Elizabeth. Lamont, you big dummy. The big one will happen when Jerome Powell is Scotty in the engine room. I'm giving you all I got. I can't give any more. That's when this will happen. When the market goes, it's over with. Jerome can't print ourselves out of this. Holy shit. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the reason that doesn't happen is because, first of all, Jerome's holding it up. And second of all, because of the 98% of the legendary investors or smart money that you see on CNBC are what? Long only. I used to fly to Greenwich, folks, and teach hedge funds about calls and puts. So you're saying in our long only portfolio, if I buy these things called puts and our stock goes down a little bit, I can make money? Yeah. Oh my God, that's brilliant. You're not doing this? No, we manage billions of dollars and we just sit here and buy stocks. Okay. And you get that big of a bonus for doing nothing? So, ladies and gentlemen, here's why I'm rambling about this. Because in AR right now, looking out to June. So right now, across my three portfolios, I have bearish trades in the interim. I got a May trudge and a June trudge. For all the reasons I've wanked about for the past 3 days. I'm not going to repeat everything as to why bad shit could be happening in here. Now it's kind of time to talk about what? Potential good. I'm sorry. It's all bad, but the Fed pausing. The Jerome Powell pause or pivot. Doesn't matter what the underlying economy is doing at that point. The market's going to go woohoo and have a rip your face off rally. I guarantee it. Part of this rally right here, folks, is what? Jerome Powell, the banking crisis. Hey, there's a nice banking crisis. The Fed's not going to keep raising interest rates because if they do, they're going to break the banks even more. So Jerome Powell's in like this, a rock and a hard place, man. So get ready to get bullish. Don't know. So this is, I need to move on to what I'm really bullish on, but I needed to give you a little bit of that. I'm not doing that yet because I do feel we are going to get a little bit of a reset here. We're way too hypoxic over here. Listening to my call the other day, it's a lot of the people that have unwound their shorts are just salivating at getting ready to pound this. Could be the exact opposite, but that's what I'm going to teach you. You got to be, I'll teach you how to dogfight, right? You can gamble. I hate gambling. You can gamble and go, I'm going to do that now. You can. Go out to, let's at least, if you're a gambler, go out. Yeah, if I have time, I could show you a new Budweiser position. Yeah, but I got stuff to do, man. Let me finish my brief. You could go out to, not on Bud, SPX. You could go out to like a June, end of June. There's a June 30. That's 72 days to expiration. So right now, you can be bipolar, folks. Remember this. You can be bipolar. You can sit here and go, man, I got some bearish stuff on, but I also have bullish on. And as things move, you manage them. Hey, man, getting destroyed. Yay, bearish trades are making money. Oh, but my bullish ones are underwater. Duh. Hey, market turned around. Now my bullish ones are making money. That's what you do. So, Chris, yeah, man, I'm about the same, 100 grand and got 10 deployed right now. There you go, folks. So I'm glad I'm glad I'm leading by example, man. And in my personal accounts, I'm similar. I'm sitting on a ton of cash because I'm like, I do not. The only things I'm personally long-term bullish on in my personal accounts, folks, Amazon and psychedelics. And we got to talk psychedelics, man, because I don't want to go long. But I need to tell you this. We need to talk through this in case we do get you know what, Wiz, it ain't a hover up here. It's a rally, and we're going to keep going. Get ready for it. Barry, I'm 35.65. See, there you go. Good. I'm glad, right? So with these $100,000 portfolios, folks, I ain't trading $100,000. I'm trading 10, 20 grand to make those returns. So when you're trading 10 to 20 grand and you're up 56, that's pretty good, if I do say so myself. Enough. For now, out here to June, if we get some whatever and we get a pivot, we're going to get back up to here. So you could do something cheap right now. You could just buy some upside calls. You know, and the 4,200s probably are not cheap because that can happen. So let's look at the 4,200s at least. Let me open up our strikes a little bit. A little bit more. Let's just hit 40. Because it's a nice round number. Well, yeah, look at this. There's 6,500. Look at the 4,200 strike, man. Let me go up a little bit higher. I want to see, let me hit all. Let me do 4,250 or 4,300. 42. God, there's a lot of strikes. Like it couldn't center on where you were. See, if I was running options house for this, all right, 4,250. There's 4,500 in there. Let's go to 4,300. 13,000. So at round numbers, folks. So there are people out here like, you know what? In June, Jerome's going to pause or pivot, and we're going to rally. So there, you could rate now, folks. And again, they ain't cheap, right? 4,300 is, yeah. I mean, even buying one of these. So again, you could do, if that's too expensive for you, folks, $4,000, go to SPY. I don't trade SPY, but you could go to, 43. There you go, 16,000, folks, at 430. 435, 440. There's a lot of upside interest. Okay. Now, if you didn't, let's go back to SPX since I'm an SPX guy. What was it? 4,300. Let me just click. I'm going to show you something quick, folks. 40 by June, 4,300. You could just do this. Wiz, I'm listening to you, man. Things are kind of crappy right now. I got some bear stuff on, but Fed, pause, pivot, going to rally. You could just buy some calls if you're kind of sort of thinking about something. That's a lot of money, $4,700. Why don't we sell a higher strike call against it, like the 4,350, to bring in some money? And instead of coming out of pocket $4,700, it's only $1,600, which also means we can add a couple more contracts. Maybe, there you go. Based on a $100,000 model portfolio, I don't like risking more than 5% or $5,000 on any one trade. So this one would be risking about $5,000. Buying 3 of the end of June, that gives us a lot of runway, 4,300 calls, and selling, putting a roof on it at 4,350. So that technically caps our profits. If you just bought the 4,300 calls to infinity and beyond, you could make infinity money, but I don't think it's infinity, so that's why I'm putting a little bit of a lid on it. Let's look at the metrics of this trade. You're risking 5 to potentially make 10. That's a good 1 to 2 thrust to weight ratio. Risking $4,900 to make $1,100. Now, obviously, lower percentages, right? Using at the money volatility in these options, 69% probability that you lose all of that. But again, I'm not just a volatility trader. I'm not just a fundamental trader. I'm not just a technical analysis trader, right? I look at all of that stuff. And when I look at all of that stuff, I go, you know what? Using at the money volatility in these options, at the money volatility isn't in this live trade brief. At the money volatility isn't saying the pause, pal, pivot. There's a little bit of that in there. Obviously, looking at the open interest, obviously having somebody in there with 15,000 calls that they bought is going to impact this a little bit. But I like this trade. I personally like this trade, but I wouldn't put it on right now. Donald, that's a great idea. Donald says you could do one contract now and add another one on a big pullback if you wanted to ease into this. Donald, very well said, man. You get a gold star. You could do one. And if we don't get the pullback and it does start taking off, add to it. Or even as Donald said, if we go down, you can add to it. So you could ease into this. I absolutely love that. Because before I read Donald's comment, I was about to say what? I wouldn't do this right now. I would wait. I like to, use our Revolutionary War saying, wait until you see the whites of their eyes. I'd wait until we see a turn. If we turn lower, wait to put on the trade. If we see a turn, you know what, Wiz, you're wrong. Earnings are awesome, and bang. I might miss out on a couple bucks, but I'd rather have confirmation than loss. Okay? I'm not a super aggressive trader. I take my shots, man. I never squeeze the trigger or push the pickle button in anger and closed my eyes and said, man, I hope that hits a bad guy. You need to be pretty damn sure. Not Joe Biden ordering a drone strike as a knee-jerk reaction to our surrender and kill 7 children with a drone. Do you remember that, folks? How come we don't talk about that? Vladimir Putin's committing war crimes. Joe Biden ordered a drone strike that killed 7 children looking for water. Oh, that's, well, when we do stuff like that, it's an error. Oh, I got it. Okay, that's right. You guys are all hypocrites. So, any questions on that? Give me a vertical head nod that you understand. First of all, I'm teaching you to be an independent fighter pilot, to be an independent trader. You are the pilot in command of your portfolio. I sit here in my trading cockpit and I take my shots. I share with you what I'm doing, but at the end of the day, you are the PIC, the pilot in command, not me. I love the scale into it. I'm going to do one of these now and then wait for the turn. If it turns, I'll wait till it bottoms out and adds more. Or if it turns higher, I'm going to add immediately. This is what I'm going to teach you. Bob and John both get gold stars too because Bob and John both said MACD. Bob said MACD rollover, and JG said MACD getting close. There we go, folks. So look at this down here. JG and Bob are pretty smart individuals because they are looking at what? See these? When you get a MACD crossing, folks, things happen. So these are getting very, very, very close to crossing. If or when they touch or cross, you will get this. Okay? But since I'm such an awesome guy, this trade is for all the people who, for whatever ridiculous reason, aren't going to join Full Throttle today. And I'm giving you yet another free trade that has a pretty high probability of success. I'm not talking about these probabilities because I'm using my thinking brain. Unlike AI, because if AI was looking at this, they'd be like, market should be at 0. Yeah, it's not. Let me grab a screenshot of this because I will put this on the Accelerated Retirement member page. So when you become a member today, and then I have to talk something real quick. SPX, what's today's date? 4/19. Let me grab the metrics. So this is rare for me to do, folks, right? This is what I call a debit spread. I'm coming out of pocket to do this trade. I like credit spreads. Why? Because I like getting paid to do things. I like getting paid and sitting on my hands and having theta, time decay, right? I love theta. This trade, when you come out of pocket, is a debit spread. It don't like theta, okay? It does not like theta. So if you were interested in this trade, you could do it right now or scale in. Yeah, it's a debit, man. It is a debit spread. Barry, you can just look at the MACD histogram to see if it is above or below the 0 line. Easier to see key changes. Nice. Very, very good intelligence right there. Me, Wiz, I'm going to hang. But this one needs to be in your pocket, ready to go. Okay? If you wait, you might be able to get a better price, right? Obviously, if we get a little bit of we get a MACD crossing here, we get a rollover, we get back to this, where's the 100-day? We get back to the 100, 200, or 50-day, then I would absolutely get ready to take that shot. Boom. You can actually save a trade, right? You can keep it under the trigger. Save order. I'm going to save that one. So it sits in the background, and I sit here and go, boom. No, hey, Tony, great. This is another gold star question. Tony says, are you more likely to do these types of trades, a debit with a low VIX? When volatility is cheap, you buy it. When volatility is expensive, you sell it. Don't think I put that wizism out this week. And I will say that again, because this, ladies and gentlemen, Unlike other places, like, I'm going to teach you to do reverse calendar. This is the. Did you watch Kung Fu growing up with, what's his name? David Carradine, one of the Carradines? If you can walk on the rice paper and leave no trace, or if you can grab this pebble from my hand, this is the options trader's pebble. Ladies and gentlemen, when volatility is cheap at 16.5 right now, it's furious cheap. You should be a buyer. So to Tony's point, in a low volatility environment, debit. If volatility is expensive, 20, 30, you should be a seller of options. Why? Because volatility's high, storms are coming, premiums are higher. Very good question. Grasshopper. Kathy, why do a bull call spread if you think the market is going to roll over again soon or roll over soon? So, Kathy, I think I answered that already. I said I'm not doing this one. I saved that trade. I believe we're going to get a pullback to the circulatory system down here. I'm waiting. That trade was kind of a free benefit for people who aren't going to join today for whatever stupid reason. If you believe, Wiz, this ain't a hover and come down. This is a hover and rally. Okay, then put that on now. Or you think this is going to happen, keep it under the trigger. And when we get down to here, you're going to get a better price, load the boat. Okay, this is AR. I'm looking down range. I'm looking towards June and Jerome Powell's pivot. So I would not put that trade on today. Unless, breaking news, peace in Ukraine. Holy shit, load the boat. So that's why it's under the trigger, folks. Okay, I'm an F-18 Hornet fighter pilot, man. I think the aircraft could carry 85 weapons from mines, not mines stuck in a box. Mines, air-to-air, air-to-ground, all sorts of shit. I always had weapons ready under the trigger, whichever one I needed for the market or the situation. Does that make sense? So, folks, I went an hour, man, and I didn't even get to what I wanted to. And that sucks. Which is, what did I want to get to? I just told you the only two places in my personal accounts that I am bullish on is Amazon and Psychedelics. Period. Full disclosure, I have 200,000 shares of Healing REIT, which is a real estate investment trust. We are buying a ton of real estate around VA hospitals and also other hospitals. Why? Because I thought it was going to be this year, but it probably Q1, according to Rick Doblin, maybe Q2 of next year, MDMA will be legal for therapeutic use. Thank you, unelected Reagan bureaucrat in 1985 who made it illegal. You will not be going to your doctor's office to do MDMA or psilocybin or ibogaine. You cannot sit in a white room with the circulatory system on the wall and a National Geographic from 1992 sitting there. The two biggest things with psychedelics are what? Set and setting. What's your mindset going into this healing? And what's the setting? I love people who are like, dude, I tried mushrooms once and it was awful. Where were you? Oh, at a concert. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, psychedelics are the future. If you know nothing about me, that's sad because they're the future. Here is my, I was up in Washington 4 weeks ago talking to lawmakers for the Psychedelic Medicine Coalition. I think I start talking around the 122 point. Let me give you this video. because people who watched it said it was good. I was in the zone. I don't even remember what I said, but apparently it sounded good. So the Psychedelic Medicine Coalition. I've done Ibogaine. If you're new, because I know we have a shitload of new people. First of all, welcome. Look at this. The count's already gone up. More and more people are registered. Do me a favor. If you just dropped in from Mars, you have got to listen to podcast episode number 7. It is my first debrief of me doing this medicine. I went to Mexico and all I got was this t-shirt. And I got a lot more than this t-shirt, ladies and gentlemen. I got radical healing. I healed the death of my sister, my father, my stupid alcohol abuse, some child sexual trauma. Healed. It was not fun. It was not it wasn't Disney World. So there's the podcast. And also, if you want a visual podcast to kind of like see the place and stuff like that, let me give you the YouTube video, because I came back and I did a brief. Hey, do me a favor right now. Subscribe to the Top Gun Options YouTube page, because I keep getting emails from people randomly like, dude, I try and subscribe and it gives you an error. I've been shadow banned. I've been repeatedly, or not even shadow banned. One time I got put in the penalty box because they list their AI whatevers would listen to my things at the height of COVID. I was calling all their lies out and I got thrown in YouTube jail a couple times. I had to go open a Rumble account or something like that. But they took me out of YouTube jail and I'm supposed to be back in here. Back normal. Try and click subscribe right now and let me know if you can subscribe. I'll answer your questions in a couple minutes, guys. Let me I went way long. But anyway, where is it? Wiz initial journey debrief. So let me give you the cliff notes, folks. I went to Mexico in May of 2021 with Marcus Luttrell, who's the lone survivor. If you've read the book Lone Survivor or seen the movie, I went with Marcus, Jared Taylor, JT, one of the co-founders of Black Rifle Coffee. I went with another Navy SEAL, and then I went with a All-American from Iowa and a 10-year NFL superstar. And it saved and changed my life. Jim, right now, no. So Cody, so obviously Cody Chandraw is so I'm going Axe Capital on this, guys. I personally have put a lot of money into this effort to save lives. And now I'm trying to, obviously I can't do this by myself. But so Cody Chandraw, ladies and gentlemen, is he's a managing partner at Ambria Capital here in Boca Raton. And he runs $500 million, I think, in the psychedelic space. So Cody, and then Daniel, you should know Daniel Carcillo. Daniel Carcillo's Chicago Blackhawk, 2-time Stanley Cup champ. He started his own psychedelic company because his best friend on the Blackhawks, Steve Montador, died in his sleep. And when they opened up his head, that dude was walking dead. Just horrible CTE. So Daniel, who was a goon, who was a fighter, he flew to Orlando and they looked at his brain and they're like, holy shit, man, you take like one more hit to the head and you're dead. And he's like, whoa. So he started a company using psychedelics to treat traumatic brain injury. And he and I became best friends because he's treating athletes for traumatic brain injury. I'm trying to treat veterans. So we got a Reese's peanut butter cup of goodness. So Daniel is the COO, Cody's the commanding officer, one of the founders. So Healing REIT, a REIT is a real estate investment trust. Focus on buying and renovating clinical space for practitioners looking to dive into the world of MDMA. Our plan, this is answering your question, our plan is to seek approval from the NYSE to be traded publicly by the end of this year. Our bet, is a bold one, particularly because MDMA, Molly, is what? Still illegal. But approval should be coming, right? Rick Doblin, he's been working on this for 30 years. Being with him in Washington was like, he gave me the elbow, like, where it's probably Q1. I'm like, all right, man. Everybody is talking about the drug, but no one is talking about where it's going to be delivered. Okay, so this is, Carcillo, advocate for traumatic brain injury and everything like that. So here's what I'm getting at. Guys, I went way too long, so I'm going to tease. I'm going to tease because you got to join. You have got to be, Sandra could not be more long-term bullish on MindMed. So for all of you, MindMed, MNMD, there are a handful of public, what is it? PSIL ETF. So you could go out and buy your own. There are publicly traded psychedelic companies, folks. You could go pick your own individual ones, or you could do what? There's an ETF. So here are the big ones, folks. Cybin, Compass, Celios. Oh, that's interesting. And Atai. MindMed isn't on here. MNMD. So MindMed is a big public psychedelic company. Cybin is a big one. Compass is a huge one. And Atai. I like Cybin, Compass, Atai, and MindMed. So you could buy those on your own, and I'm going to tell you right. So I don't trade. MindMed right now, folks, is $3.69. I don't trade options on stocks that are under $10. Why? Because they're an option. It's $3.06. That's, it's a call option. So I would personally buy Atai, Compass, MindMed, Cybin with both hands. Warning, Will Robinson. Buying a public psychedelic company right now is risky. It is. This is the best analogy I can use. He's talking about psychedelics. Yeah, I am. This is it. This is here. You ain't stopping it, and neither is Big Pharma. Big Pharma, if anything, speaks with forked tongue. Oh, that's voodoo stuff. How do we corner it? How do we patent it? Hey, you can't patent a root, and you can't trademark a toad, you jerk. But they're trying. Trust me. Anyway, this is 1999 internet. What do I mean by that? There's a Netscape, there's a Pets.com, there's a Amazon, and there's a Google. You pick the right two, you're filthy rich. You pick the wrong two, you're broke. What's going to happen in this space is consolidation. Mr. Wonderful, who's an idiot. Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. Here's $15 million. I love Bitcoin and Sam Bankman fraud. Anyway, Mr. Wonderful down in Benzinga in Miami, he's like, invest in the big psychedelic companies because they're all going to squeeze together. Or you're going to wake up one day, breaking news, MindMed is up 500% because Pfizer just bought them. That is going to happen. Or they're going to go out of business. Jim, I feel you, man. Absolutely. I keep adding to my MindMed. I'm probably down like you are. I don't care. I am long-term bullish on these. Folks, this is coming. It's already here. Oregon, it's legal. Colorado, it's legal. God bless both those states. I got a call. Here's a God moment. I have a call scheduled with the chief of staff for Ron DeSantis. Somebody got to him, apparently, because I've been bad-mouthing him. Not bad-mouthing, I've been calling him out. Governor Abbott in Texas, the Dell School of Medicine at the University of Texas has a gold star study going on right now with psilocybin. Governor Abbott gave a shit pot of money to help save the lives of veterans' spouses who lost. I talked to people who are running the study, and they're like, Wiz, we're blown away from what we kind of knew was going to happen. So Texas, Governor DeSantis, you're a fucking Navy guy. Where are you? Why aren't you leading with the psychedelics? Ladies and gentlemen, I met Governor Perry a year and a half ago. Governor Perry was on stage. Governor Perry said, 5 years ago, if I heard me running for president talking about legalizing psychedelics, I'd kick my own ass. Today, he is the biggest proponent. Marcus Luttrell lived with Governor Perry. They're best friends. Morgan Luttrell, Congressman Morgan Luttrell, did the medicine. We, veterans, are dragging the Republicans to get here. The Democrats are already here. It's sad that a veteran like me has to go to the Republicans and go, these ain't drugs, dude. Ditch it. Medicines. These medicines have been used for thousands and thousands of years, and Richard Nixon and Republicans decided to make them illegal. Why? Because maybe when you took those, you're like, why am I going to Vietnam to go kill these people? You can't think for yourself. Oh, so we're going to make these things illegal because they actually make you see people as souls, not North Vietnamese. Maybe if we can turn the war fighters into people who love peace, the world would be a better place. They're illegal. Okay. The definition of a Schedule I drug is no therapeutic use and a high risk of addiction. I just defined a cigarette. Tobacco, completely legal. Tobacco executives testifying in front of Congress. Remember that hearing? All 11 white dudes sitting there. Senator, I believe that nicotine is not addictive. Okay, the next guy. I, too, Senator, believe nicotine is not addictive. You pieces of shit. You commit perjury, you go to jail. Tobacco executives lie under oath. They send a bigger check so they don't get charged with perjury. These plant medicines are anti-addictive. The more you use, the less they work because God's pretty smart. God's a smart pharmacologist. You try and do a shitload of these, they're not going to work. You do the right amount, God's going to hook you up. So they're anti-addictive, so no risk of addiction. Trust me, you're not going to Vegas to do Ibogaine. You're not leaving your hotel room for a day. And it was the most therapeutic experience of my life. So let's call those things Schedule I's, and cigarettes are legal. I can't stand the fucking government. This type of shit makes me furious. 20 to 40 veterans are going to take their own lives today. I love when the next round of government numbers come out because it's going to be less veterans most likely. You know why? Because we're running out of veterans. I'm very passionate about this topic. I put my own money where my mouth is. I'm investing in the Healing REIT. I put a shit pot of money in the foundation to save lives. I believe in this. My wife has sat with the medicine. She's got her psychedelic counselor certification. I believe. I reserve the right to be completely wrong. That was dumb, stupid investment, never going to be legal, not healing. You, Marcus, JT, you're all liars. The guys in the No Fallen Heroes documentary, Rosie, Arrow, you're all full of shit. Talked to a guy last night, FedEx guy, called me from Narita, going to sit with the medicine down at Trevor's place. I got airline pilots doing it underground. Would you rather have your airline pilot continue to be a drunk, self-medicating person who hides all their PTSD and trauma? Or, as the flying public, would you rather he or she take a couple weeks off and go get their mind and body right? I know what I personally would like. And I know what I did. I'm actually begging the FAA, please come after me. Please come after me, no longer being a drunk and being a better husband, father, and human being. I beg you, FAA, to come after me. That would be the best thing that could happen. I wouldn't have to worry about raising another dime for the rest of my life. So, way too long. I wasn't even going to say all of that because I was going to tease you. You got to join. I am Axe Capital. I am Bobby Axelrod on the subject, folks. We are going to print money in this thing. That's Gordon Gekko talking. I really don't give a shit about the money, but, if I can save lives, if I can change lives of veterans, first responders, and their families, first of all, yay. That's why I get up in the morning. Second, if I can make money off of it, I'm going to do it. What do they call that? What did Sam Bankman-Fried say that? Environment? No, like philanthropic capitalism. What's the thing he like said was complete bullshit? Like the way people are supposed to be investing now for like doing right things. E.g., what's it called? Somebody Google that. I'm actually doing it. I'm not Sam Bankman-Fried. Like environment. No, something capitalism. No, not ESG or DEI. It's something that, he admitted. He's like, you know what? Giving all the money to all this shit, it's all bullshit. I'm doing it to make money, not to, I'll think of the term. Anyway, so I'm fully out in the open about this. My personal accounts are completely full of psychedelic bullish trades, 200,000 shares in Healing REIT. If it goes public, yay. I can talk about this. Because I cleared it with Daniel and Cody. We actually already got an offer from you can probably guess it was probably a big REIT. This is just private investors right now. Let me give you another free trade. And I talked about this in Accelerated Retirement a month ago when I disclosed my position in this firm. I can't tell you who, because that is not allowed. But ladies and gentlemen, there are big REITs. Why don't you Google that right now? Largest REITs. My sister, full disclosure, again, you guys know me. I am an open book. Dune Capital. My sister is she's a heavy at Dune Capital. Kia Buckley, right there. So Daniel Nidek, big Goldman Sachs. So Steve Mnuchin, who was the Treasury Secretary under Donald Trump, was also my sister's partner. So that's my sister right there, Kia Buckley Marakovitz. Why did I bring this up? Because Dune is a REIT. And so, sorry about that. I wasn't sharing my screen. So there you go. Dune. This is Dune. It's a massive REIT. And then there's my sister. Very proud of my sister. She was selected as New York City's Woman of the Year. What year was that? Like 2009. That's when I met Mnuchin, John Corzine, and Murphy, that piece of shit governor in New Jersey. Anyway, I'm bringing this up because I've obviously I call my sister and get a lot of good intel, first of all, about a lot of stuff, but she was blown away. When she was down here a month ago, I briefed her on, let me not waste your time. This is coming. This is here. This isn't a water cooler. Hey, this is a hot stock tip. It is real estate investment trusts. You're not doing these medicines, folks, at your doctor's office. You can't. First of all, for example, for psilocybin, if you're doing a 6-hour psilocybin journey, first of all, there's got to be 2 people in the room. You can't do the one, especially with MDMA, it's a hard opener. There's been you have to have 2 people in there. You got like a counselor and a psychologist, whatever. So the room, if you look at, let me just show you this real quick, guys. I'm sorry I'm going over, but again, I'm very passionate about this shit. So let me show you Healing REIT. This is our deck. And all the math is in here. If you become a member, I'll give you this slide deck. But let me just show you, because it maps out all the math in the wellness and healing space, the psychedelics. But let me just show you the treatment centers. They have to be, first of all, they have to be inviting, right? You're not going, where is it? Let me scroll down. Yeah, so here, a perfect example, right, of what this place has to look like. Oh, good. Everybody's like, keep going. All right, sorry. If you got to leave, watch the replay. But, these centers and these rooms, 7,000 square foot facility, right? Long duration rooms for MDMA, the psilocybin, so this is going to be a whole thing, folks. This is like I said, this isn't coming, it's here, and it's about to explode. I hate when I look at the math, I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be awesome. Again, that's Gordon Gekko talking. Wiz talking is, holy shit, this is going to be awesome because what? Maybe people won't be dicks. Maybe if people can heal the hate in this country, the poverty, the everything, I'm telling you, if I could kidnap Vladimir Putin and Zelensky and take them to heal, we wouldn't be in this situation. I guarantee you. Oh, here you go. Let me show you this slide. Here, ladies and gentlemen, are some potential really good ideas. Wink, wink, elbow, nudge, nudge. These are all pretty big REITs that may or may not be fishing in this space. So kind of like me saying get bullish on MindMed because Pfizer or Moderna might wake up one day and here's $1 billion, you're ours now. From my mouth to God's ears, hopefully that happens with Healing REIT. We've already gotten an offer, but we're like, why would you take the first offer? Anyway, you're in AR, Accelerated Retirement. What am I also long-term bullish on? With 200,000 shares, you can see them on the homepage. Where my personal accounts are, you can see I have 200,000 shares in here. Always got to disclose and be above board and be honest. I promise you, if those 200,000 shares, we go public and it's some obscene amount of money, I'm giving that obscene amount of money away. I can't take it with me. I'm not a pharaoh. They don't put it in your fucking casket. I will do everything in my power to give that to veterans, first responders, and their families. Hell, I'll open a No Fallen Heroes healing center, man. Okay. And yeah, I can. Let me try and share it now if you want to look at it. Quick access. I think I tried to do this before. I don't know if it uploads during the brief. So hang on. I'm trying to. I think you have to do it beforehand. It's halfway uploaded. So let me. Ready. Now, it says 100%. Look underneath handouts. Did it upload? Can you guys let me know if it uploaded? I'm with you, Lucas. Oh, good. Well, there you go. You're welcome. I just uploaded this deck. It gives you a lot of intel into the healing space. Okay. Yeah, let me give you this article too. Cody did a podcast the other day. We announced a couple partnerships in the past couple weeks. This is coming, folks. You want a hot stock tip? This isn't me at the water cooler. This is me in the water cooler. I'm leaving to go to Costa Rica in a couple weeks for another retreat. You're welcome. This is what I do, guys. I put the ladder down, man. I am very passionate about all of this stuff. I went way too long, man. So anyway, thank you. Here we go. If by Thursday morning it's Wednesday morning after 3 free trade briefs, you can't see the value in joining Top Gun Options, I'm done. I can't help you out anymore. But let me answer if you still got any hanging Chad questions. This is the monthly full throttle. It's only $295. And let me whatever. We have over $8,000 week to date in profits. I got an Amazon bull put spread I got to keep an eye on, but I have an Amazon Iron Condor. I have 2 Amazon Iron Condors on. One, the bull put spread I have to keep an eye on. But as of right now, closed trades up close to $9,000. There's no other service out there, folks, that did what I did this week. Opened the doors and showed you what's going on. You could have lost $9,000 this week. Yeah, I could have. If I sucked, I don't. So if you want to try, if you'd want to keep going and just see for another month if I really suck, it's only $295, folks. Now, ignore that. If you want to check out Full Throttle, I want these live trade briefs. I want your investment club, and I want the training. Try it for a couple months at $497. That's a pretty good way to go if you're still in the, I want to see the investment club, but I want all this stuff. $497 a month. Or save the 50% now and do the annual. Trust me, as a businessman, I'd love you in here for the rest of your life at $497 a month. That's Gordon Gekko. That guy's a dick. I'm me. Hopefully I'm not. Maybe I was. I'm a lot better now. Here's me trying to hook you up. Save 50% with an annual. No, I'm not. Shoot me an email if you want to do lifetime. That's a whole separate brief, man. The lifetime membership is. Thank you for asking about that. A couple of people did join lifetime this week, but just shoot me an email, please. I'll give you details about the lifetime membership. That's its own separate. We got a GroupMe app. That's a whole. Yeah, you can get to fly in a fighter jet. That's its own thing. But for now, let's just stick with the hunters and Full Throttle. Yeah, we accept PayPal. Absolutely. Kathy, thank you, Matt. This was a great brief. Thank you, Kathy. Joseph, how many times have you been stopped out over the past year using your 100% rule? Using your 100% rule. Now, I don't know what my 100% rule is. I don't have a 100% rule. But if you're asking about stopped out, I don't keep. How would you keep track of? I don't know what you mean by stopped out. Like, for example, check this out right here. Yesterday afternoon, with that bull put spread on, I said, hey, going to get my ears lowered. That means a haircut. Going to get a haircut, put in a closing order at 10 cents. That got hit at 10 cents. Is that what you mean by stopped out? But that was stopped out for 98% profit or something like that. He means double the credit. Oh, I get it. I get it. If you double in a credit spread, if you double the credit you take in. Dude, I don't keep track of the amount of times I've been stopped out because it would reflect here, right? If I had been stopped out a ton for S&P 500 losses, I wouldn't be. I don't keep track of that, to be honest with you. I don't even know how. Does it happen? Sure. I have S&P trades go against me. I was on like a 3-week winning streak up until last week when I brought that up. Last week, when I'm like, holy shit, I haven't had a losing S&P 500 trade in 3 weeks. I lost on 2 of them. And I think those were, so there you go. I think in the past 3 weeks, I think twice. There you go. So that's the only kind of metric I can give you. But I don't keep track of how many times I've been stopped out. Is that okay? That's just in 32 years of doing this. I really don't. I don't. That's not something I track. But yeah. Okay. Sorry. More questions. No, I don't have time, man. I went an hour and 40 minutes. This is killing me. My legs are killing me. I got to stand up. If you join, I'll give you a Budweiser trade. I would. Steve, I strongly recommend not placing stop orders on credit spreads. Steve, I could not agree more. So let me answer JT's question a little bit better. I don't get stopped out. What do I mean by that? I actively manage stuff, except for like, hey, I'm going to get my haircut. I'm going to put in a closing order. I will teach you with my S&P 500 trades. I usually am I'm a set it and forget it guy. I know my max loss in this trade because guess what, folks? In the S&P 500, especially in the last hour of trading, a lot of crazy shit can happen. I've had trades that are like, 50, 60% loser, and in the last 15 minutes, they completely reverse. And I'm like, I call them lucky strike trades. I'm like sitting here smoking a lucky strike cigarette. I'm going to teach you all this stuff, folks. Dale, how do you decide whether to use a bull put or a bull call spread? Dale, you ready for this? I'll answer that question when you become a member. That's why you join and you go and do your full throttle training. That's a great question, and that is covered in probably 2 or 3 of these lectures, these training sessions. Watch bullish spreads, right? That question will be answered. I give you all my secret sauce. I'm done for the week of giving out my free secret sauce, so to speak. Very good question. That is answered in your full throttle training. All right, guys, I got to go, man. Usually we're not this long. These live trade briefs, folks, if it's not a full throttle week, are an hour, half an hour to an hour. We get in, I knock out the brief, and we get going. So with all the questions and everything like that, this went long today. I went long today as well because I did want to cover this upside potential. Wiz, I could be wrong. This thing ain't rolling over. We're going up. Good. I don't care, folks. You have to be unemotional, non-emotional, unemotional, whatever word you choose, meaning I don't care. People are sitting here like, oh my God, I need the market to go up. I'm like, yay if it does. Yay if it goes down. Yay if it goes sideways. I don't care, folks. Personally, I prefer a market to go up because I don't like you all hurting. Personally, as a businessman, I love the market going down because you all are hurting. And you come, usually, when we do good at Top Gun Options? When people are beating down our door? Now. Everybody was a genius when the market was going straight up. I'm like, okay, I was a genius. I'm printing money. I'm also printing money now. That's where the genius is, here in this stuff. And I opened up the doors, I unzipped my fly, and you got to see everything this week. I don't know what else I can do. Victoria, you are welcome. Barry, this is the longest brief that I can remember in 3 years. I will not take that as a compliment, man. And I apologize for that. But you guys know, Barry, you've been a member here for a while. But as you guys, look at me. I just talked Amazon up. I had a bull put spread down at 102 that I was like, I got to keep an eye on that. Did you see that happen live? What's going on with Amazon? The only trade that I was first of all, I never worry about anything that I said it. I said, I have to keep an eye on my Amazon bull put spread down here at 102. And look at that. God takes care of fools, drunks, and sailors. Covered on all three bases. Actually, you know what now? I think I have a 104, 105 bear call spread for Friday. I got to keep an eye on. But this is what I do. I keep an eye on it. All right, guys, I got to go. I will, because this is recording, I will get this replay posted. But this is it, man. This is your last free full throttle. Tomorrow morning, solo Amazon. Solo Amazon is not a part of full throttle, but please come anyway so I will show you my Amazon iron condors that I'm currently having fun with. Cool. Thank you for all the compliments, folks. I appreciate that. I don't need to read all of those, but I appreciate that. If you can't tell, I have failed, but I'm very passionate about this. I'd be doing this on my own, man. If I didn't have you all, I'd be doing this. I do this. Then I'm like, why don't I just start Top Gun Options and teach people how to do it? I love being an instructor, man. I loved instructing in the F-18 Hornet, being an adversary instructor. I love teaching people. I love training people. Why? And let me clear this up, and then I'll let you go. I don't want you here forever. No offense. The best metric of success that I have is a year, 6 months, 2 years, whenever you email and go, dude, I got it. I didn't go to Top Gun for my career. We call it going to the mountain. You go to the mountain, you get the flowing robes and the patch, and you go back to the fleet. You go back to the fleet and go, hey, man, here's all the gouge. Here's all the intel. I'm smart. Let me make you guys smart, and gals. So don't be here forever. That's a pretty shitty business model, or it's a great business model, because I know once you get this Top Gun Options patch on your shoulder, you're going to go out and tell people. That's my best metric of success. Wiz, I know what I'm doing now. Thank you. Send me my patch, and I'm going to tell people. Okay? All right, I'm done. Full throttle's over with. Solo Amazon tomorrow at 10 a.m. Same link to get in here. There's the replay page. You got the link to join. It's the same one for tomorrow. And then we are good to go. Yes, shoot me an email, Wiz, W-H-I-Z, Wiz at TopGunOptions.com, and I'll send you the lifetime membership details. If you want to join Lifetime, we'd love to have you. It's the best hedge fund I've seen in over 3 decades. Awesome, guys. Could you, Gabriel, just shoot me an email right now. Wiz, W-H-I-Z, at TopGunOptions.com, and we can talk about the lifetime stuff. All right, guys. God bless. Fights on. Namaste, and I'll see you tomorrow for Solo Amazon. Cheers.